All right, welcome to episode 123 of Those Millennials podcast. What just happened? I am your humble, grateful, extremely thankful host, K the Classic on the Earth, my nearest and dearest, my boys and friends in real life. Rell's here, choking for some strange reason. Rell, how you doing? How's your pockets? How's your mental health? What's the vibe?
Allergies is acting up.
Oh, is that what's going on?
Yeah. This is my
You had
last
to do-
podcast, by the way, before I go on vacation. This is my last podcast. So
You can't pop from Miami?
no, I'm not potting for Miami. I'm not.
Why not?
I'm not potting for Miami.
Wow,
I'm not gonna do it. I don't know, because then I gotta bring a carry-on and bring my equipment. I might. I mean, I have a balcony, so I got a really nice view. So
Oh, come on, man. You got to show the vibes. You got to show the Miami vibes to the audience.
I actually was thinking of turning my phone off for the whole week. So
Wow. Okay. You're going to go zero dark 30 on your birthday week? Okay. All right. All right. Don't send him a text message for happy birthday. All right.
I just would like for you to think that I'm at least having a menage a trois. You know, I would like for you to think that I got, panties on my head and I'm getting double top,
Double. Okay. I mean, it's Miami, so, if you got enough blow, you can go. Space is in here. No Jesse. It's just me and Rell. We in here rocking. First and foremost, I would like to again always start off by saying thank you for everybody that listens and interacts with our podcast. We love you. We appreciate you guys. Those if you watch on YouTube, we really love you. Mess with you the YouTube. We love the growth that YouTube has been doing. And if you're just a faithful podcast listener, they say for some reason the people that just strictly listen to the podcast feel like we cater too much to the YouTube audience because we only care about the visuals and stuff, and we don't care about audio that much, which is not true.
I think it should add effect to it. Like, like there's more I want to do to it that like I'm kind of fucking like, I don't know. But yeah, so
I feel like I take care of
it's a happy medium.
I feel like the audio is the one that gets the most attention anyway, but it is what it is. So Rell and I are gonna speak about the game's album Drillmatic and talk about the game and where this ranks among him in his hierarchy of album. This is 10th studio album. We're gonna talk about LeBron's contract, and his extension, and how long. What was the purpose of it happening now, and what was the reason behind it happening now? We're gonna talk about the NBA schedule, but first we're gonna get to my not list. But before that, Rell has some shout outs that he wants to give out. So Rell, I'm gonna let you give it the space to give out your shout outs.
Shout out to my cousin Dante. He just had his kid, he had another son actually. So he got 2 boys.
Audio, add applause here. Go, keep going.
And also big ups to my sister Amari Baxter, finishing her master's in kinesiology.
Shout out to Amari. Audio. More applause.
25 years old. Just had her kid. Like my niece Araya is like not even 3 weeks old, and so she was in school doing all that while in the process, and then had the baby and had finals, and it is crazy.
Mari, you're a beast. Mari, you're a beast. I don't know how you did it, but you're a beast. Inspiration.
She's my sister, so
is that the reason why she's a beast? Solely because she's your sister? That's why she's a beast. Okay.
I wouldn't have it any other fucking way.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna get to my not list. People are starting to enjoy the not list, so I'm having fun doing the not list. Okay, so starting off the not list, it's Rell and I. So we're gonna start off the things that we're not talking about on the podcast.
Can I do my not list first, or you want to do your? No, you go ahead. You go ahead with yours.
Okay, so we're starting off with the not list. So we are not talking about sports books having wagers about Kim K's next boyfriend. We are not talking about that, even though I took a screenshot of who they got wagers on, and this is real. I'm not joking about this. There's live bets you can bet on who Kim K's next boyfriend is going to be.
I've seen it. What's up?
Number 1 is Van Jones at plus 700. Kanye West is at 750.
Yeah. I like our chances.
A rekindle with Pete Davidson's at plus 1,000.
Fuck
Ray J is at 1050. I would just mention some of these funny names on here. Kyrie Irving's at plus 2,500. Dak Prescott's at 2,500.
Dak, don't do it, bro. we got a Super Bowl to win.
Reggie Bush is at plus 5,000. But this is fun. I thought this was the funniest.
Who's that?
Reggie Bush?
They used to. Is he like a musician or something?
No, he's a USC legend.
Never heard of him.
That's crazy. That's crazy that you've never heard of him. All right. Anyway, we're not talking about the updated Scream Tour dates with Bow Wow, and we're not going to talk about how after losing versus after Omarion lost versus to Mario, he also got bumped and lost his spot in the Scream Tour. We're not talking about that as well. Also on the not list, this is a cool one that I saw. So we're not talking about. I saw this from the Washington Post. We're not talking about. They're retiring the Charger and Challenger. So after next year, and I know we're not supposed to be talking about it, they're retiring the Challenger and the Charger. So 2023 will be the last of the gas Charger because I believe they're going electric. So next year will be the last. They're going to cap it off for the Challenger and Charger. And I know that's like the I don't want to call it the fuckboy car because I know a lot of people have Challenger and Chargers, but a lot of people have, loves those cars, love those vehicles. All right, we're also not talking about Capri Sun and the recalls with Capri Sun and all the fucking cooking, the cleaning chemicals that's been in fucking Capri Suns. We're not talking about that as well. And to cap it off, we're not talking about anything Orlando Brown. I don't give a fuck what the motherfucker talks about. No interview shit. I don't even give a fuck why people are still putting mics in front of Orlando Brown. I don't care. We're not talking about that. All right. Rell, Drillmatic time. All right, so Drillmatic came out last Friday. Originally, it was 30 tracks, but we know that it was now pulled. It was 31 tracks originally, right? And
30.
2 songs got pulled?
Two songs got pulled. Well,
the Nipsey so it was originally 31
the
tracks.
Nipsey verse got pulled.
The Nipsey verse, and then obviously the song with NBA Youngboy got pulled, which I really like that track. I'm mad that one's gone. I have to listen to it now on YouTube.
Why did that one get pulled?
I don't know the details on that one. Somebody was telling me, but you guys, Google it. I'm sorry. But that one got pulled as well. But yeah, Game's 10th studio album. A plethora of collaboration, a lot of features on it. Like he has the cream of the crop as far as producers on the album. Obviously, most of the songs was done by Hit Boy. He also had Kanye West.
Only 6.
Huh?
Only 6 songs. Only 6 songs are produced by
obviously, he has Kanye West on there. He has Lennon on the track. I'm trying to see some of these. DJ Mustard, Swiss Beats, Timberland, Whack 100, Mike Zombie. Like a lot of these, like it was a lot of money behind these tracks. And honestly, Rell, I want to ask you this question. You're shaking your head, and me and you haven't talked about this album, which is I think this is a good thing because I've spoken with it. Kind of me and Space talked about it a little bit. Is this Game's second best album?
No.
I was pretty confident. Okay.
No.
Okay.
I can go on. Just let me start my list. If I had to rank it, I think it's third. Fourth. Nothing tops LAX Files documentary, and LAX Files, The Doctor's Advocate, and then the documentary. LAX Files and LAX Files.
Doctor's Advocate.
I listened to Doctor yesterday. I did for this podcast. Doctor's Advocate is one of my it's my favorite song by Game Old English on that. Yep, and there's also the Wouldn't Get Far with him and Kanye West is on there as well. So,
okay,
I just this Game album, you just. I don't know, like I there's parts of it, the parts I fuck with, I really do. Like I really like certain tracks. And then there's parts I'm just like, there go Game doing Game shit again. And it's just like, and it's just a conundrum. Like I appreciate him shot like Hove never gave you the beat, but like never gave you the verse your whole fucking career, and we're at your last album, and then you do change the game
They
beat,
say
you
it's his
know?
last album. I don't think it's gonna be his last. I'm
If
with Drake. Keep it moving.
Yeah, and you couldn't even first say that's another thing. You couldn't even get a Drake verse, but you got a voicemail and then put it on your fucking album. You couldn't even
Okay.
get a Drake verse. And
Drake told him he was busy, basically booked and busy.
oh, Drake said, Drake basically said, "I'm too big for this fucking album." But
That's not what he said. That's not what he said. But keep
but
going.
that's pretty much that takeaway. Drake gonna leave you a voicemail, but he can't do a fucking 16. Anyways, I don't know. Like there's parts of this I really like. Like I said, to change the game track.
Mm.
Like I like the beat, but here's the thing, like it's like, why do you have to sample that like New York track? Like Game, you're such a in this thing that pissed me off about Game. Why do you want to be a New York rapper so fucking bad? Why don't you want to be a West Coast rapper? Like I don't understand why
he does want to be a West Coast. I just think Game is one of the best chameleons in rap. I think he
doesn't have to do that because
he does it.
Even
because
that even
actually,
it because
he can
even in that
rap, but he likes the chameleon rap shit. I don't it's
because even with this
part of his
money
MO,
cash
Polonius.
that money cash hose sample that he took that was uncalled for. Like it was I didn't need him. I mean even though I fuck with any ASAP music we can get right now. But like him and ASAP on that money cash hoes, I didn't need that fucking sample. And the
I
thing
didn't
about
like
when
ASAP.
Game samples is that he don't even sample the music. He just takes the beat and then spins it a little. It's not really a sample. Like when you hear a Kanye West beat, you can hear like the sample because it's a drum line of something else. When Game takes a sample, he just takes the whole fucking beat and plays it again. Like that to change the game beat. I was like, I played the Change the Game instrumental and I played that track and I was like, it's pretty much the exact same beat, just sped up a little bit.
there's gonna be more space.
But ultimately, I was just kidding to say
all right, standout tracks.
Outside because somebody's ghostwriting for YG and that shit is hot.
that was one of IG's hardest verses for sure.
Is it bad that I did it? This is a bad reference. That growing up, I knew the hat code before I knew each state's capital.
No. Oh, La La Land, yeah, La La Land go crazy.
Like when he names the
La
state,
La
when he names Kansas City, all that what each hat means in LA. Like I knew that before I knew each state's capital. Like growing
Nah.
I felt fucked up growing about it as he was reading them off. I'm all, oh, that's what that means, and that's what my daddy told me I couldn't wear a Yankee hat. So,
I thought that La La Land go crazy. So that's your only standout tracks.
Those two stand out. Let me get pull up some more. You give some. Let me get the rest of it because it's 30 fucking tracks. It's a Chris Brown album.
It's 29 tracks now. All right. So before I bring out standout tracks, I think this is Game's second best album for me.
What?
Nothing to me is gonna be better than the documentary. I think that album is fucking incredible.
LAX Files.
LAX Files is hard,
but it's better than the documentary.
This is the point I'm trying to get to. Game doesn't have a lot of bad albums. Think about some of your favorite artists. We can really break it down. If we're gonna talk about his 10 studio albums,
no, it's got to be more than 10.
We love Drake. No, he has 10 studio albums. Yeah, he has.
That's because I've been buying DJ Ski mixtapes and shit.
Yeah. He has more if you do that. But yeah, his 10th studio album. If we're going off just the studio ones, the documentary, I think it's best. You think it's good, right? Documentary is good. You just said you love the Doctor's Advocate.
Top 3.
Doctor's Advocate is good, right?
Doctor's Advocate is the second best album.
LAX Files.
This is best album.
The Red Album.
Terrible.
I that's one of the bad ones.
It had one.
Jesus Piece is hard.
Jesus Piece,
it's tough.
No, it starts hard. Good. No, because he had a track. What was that? He had a track. Didn't he have the track with Kendrick on there? And then he had a track with Jamie Foxx on there. But I don't. Nah, mid.
You don't think Jesus Piece is good?
Mid.
I disagree. Jesus Piece, I like. Okay, the documentary too. I went back and the documentary too.
Mid.
I want to say to this too. I like the second one more than the first one. The documentary
2.5 is better than 2. Yeah,
I like the documentary 2.5 better than 2. But I count that as one album. Am I wrong for counting that as one
No,
album?
that's 2 different albums. Fuck that game. He just saw the sales of the first one and wanted to throw out all the extra joints.
Extra Joints was hard. 1992 was tough. I like 1992 is hard. I like 1992. Born to Rap.
Bro, I like the middle part of that album.
I like the middle part of Born to Rap too.
Because he has this track called 40 Ounce of Love, and it's one of my favorite game songs ever.
Yeah. My point is, if we do that same thing with Drake, I think Drake has a little more worse bad albums than Drake, Game right now, right? The consensus, what everybody would say as
no. That's wrong. Because Game had 2.5 red,
2.5,
2.5.
The Red album, because we agree the Red album sucks.
I will say this:
the Red album has like 2 tracks on it.
Check the reviews for documentary 2.5. I'm pretty sure they were 2 and 2.5. That one song
with him and Nas on documentary 2.5 is I can't remember off the set that one, but that one's tough.
But here's the thing about Game: he does shit like when Game rap. Like I said, Game's so talented. I would say this: I remember. I just want to take it back from when I first heard about Game real quick. When I first heard about Game, he was coming up with the DJ Ski mixtape. I remember going with Deshaun and the Corolla to fucking buy a CD for the DJ Ski mixtapes when they would drop. This is before he even joined G Unit. So I'm a real like I've listened to him, but like when he like at the end of like he has a line in this song where he says if being gay is happy, then I'm Isaiah Rashad. It's like
Rashad.
Game, why? Why do you have to say stupid shit? Like, why do you have to say stupid shit? Like,
that was on the Chris Brown track.
It's just like Game. You didn't even like. I'm pretty sure Isaiah Rashad cleared it, but it's like Game. That first off, that didn't even rhyme. Second off, that's not even a hard bar. Like you just saying shit.
Okay. So standout tracks for me before we get to the song that everybody wants us to start talking about, basically. So for me, I like all the songs where he's by himself.
Me too.
So for me,
Heart versus
I like Home Invasion, La La Land. Heart versus Mind is probably my 1 or 2 favorite song. That's a good question. I
didn't need Ice-T. I didn't need Ice-T.
So let me tell the audience what we're referring to, because we're just we're there we go. We're not catering to the audience. So Space Just Asked was Game's opening track one time, featuring Ice-T. Was it a good a good way to start the album, basically? So Game for me is used to starting his album off right. I remember I used to tell Rell and Jesse this all the time. Game was one of those artists, and Meek Mill does this shit too. When they start an album, they start a fucking album. Like their track 1 is a lot of times going to be
LA X-Files. He had DMX praying. He had a fucking DMX prayer on there.
Same thing with Jesus Peace, but you don't like Jesus Peace, so whatever.
That shit was mid.
You don't remember Jesus Peace. That's why you keep shaking your head thinking. I think One Time was just solid though. I like the sample that for One Time though. Like I thought that was hard. It didn't start the album how how he normally starts the album. All right. So so I said some of my standout tracks. I even like I even like Start From Scratch too, even though he's doing it again. He's literally telling us stories about the same shit he's been telling us for like fucking 5 years.
I like Father Time. It's probably one of my favorite Games track.
And then the song with him and French Montana and Tory Lane. Anything Tory's on, he's fucking smoking for me. It sounds like a song where you should be at a beach, some in your hand, and you just looking at fucking water. That's what it sounds like for me. That one, I like that song. All right, so favorite feature on the album. Who's your favorite feature? This one was wide range. I actually asked a lot of people that like the album what was their favorite feature. Favorite feature, and who do you think had the hardest verse on one of the tracks with Game?
I think YG for both. I mean, for a second, I think that Push Change track.
I was about to say that. I'm surprised we haven't brought up that one yet. What got into 2 Chainz?
He's rapping his ass off.
What happened to Chainz? Who got into Chainz? It's not many tracks.
He titty boy right now. He rapping like titty boy.
It's not many tracks where, and I know if Jesse was here, you probably disagree, but he probably didn't listen to the album, so we'll take this for what it is. Push to me had the weakest verse on the song on the track.
Yeah, Push be bullshit sometimes.
I think it goes Chainz, Game, and then Push. But like, and Push he opened up the song right, but Game had something different from him, and then I don't know what happened to Chainz on that. I think Chainz blacked out and just went nuts. For me, so obviously that one, Talk to Me Nice with Meek Mill. I like that song too. Meek Mill was spitting too on that one. And Fortunate with Kanye. I'm gonna surprise you, real. I actually like that track. He surprised the hell out of me. I thought that one was really hard. I liked where it's placed in the album. I thought that album was really hard. What do you think about the Cameron song Killer?
I didn't need that killer verse.
You know what's crazy? So Space just said, "Can we agree that the Cameron was the worst verse on the album?" Basically,
yeah.
I talked to a couple people. They love that track. I didn't love that track. I didn't love the ASAP Rocky track either. I just like the beat like you did. I liked because he was using what you call a beat.
Change the game.
I didn't. Yeah, the Change the Game beat for
no. For ASAP, that's the Money Cash Hoes.
Change the Game. Yeah,
Change the Game was Ty Dolla $ign.
Was Ty Dolla $ign? Yeah. And then the Bone Thugs the Harmony beat that London on the Track did was fucking crazy too with Lil Wayne. When he was like thugged out, that one's stuff too. All right, so we talked. I don't know how many minutes already, and didn't talk about the track yet. All right, man. Black Slim Shady, give it to me, Rell. What'd you think?
I mean, this is what Games this is what he does. But I mean, as far as like the timing of everything, it just seems kind of forced. I mean, I get where he's coming from. Like, he is the redheaded stepchild of the West Coast. Like, there's no reason why he shouldn't have had some kind of feature at the Super Bowl. Like, I'm just keeping it a buck. He should have been involved with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just
he said it on Dream Taps. I agree.
Before Kendrick, like I said, there was Game. Like, he put the West on the map, on the map.
He had the ball for a very long time when the West was quiet.
Dog, and like I said, and it was just like he was almost doing shit to where, like I said, the controversy was almost just like I said, just the beefs. And whenever he would say something about somebody, it was just always like Game, like I said. But it was good and bad. But it was putting the West Coast back on the map. He deserved to be at the fucking Super Bowl in LA. So if you feel some type of way, he's not going to diss 50 again. He's not going to diss Kendrick because that's his boy. So the only person was the logical target was Eminem. So, so he's not gonna diss Snoop. The only person is Eminem, because they can quote unquote battle rap it out. But Game just a fucking weirdo because he always does shit like this. Game, you spent your whole fucking career name dropping people. You don't have to do this shit anymore. You're an elite, bro. People should name drop you at this point. You know what I'm saying? So, instead of you, vice versa. It's not like it's your first year in the fucking game. So, I don't know. Like I just thought the track was kind of washed. I didn't really pay it no mind. I think distraction just doesn't really exist, especially one that's so forced as much as this one.
So that's what I wanted to ask you. You finally said the word that I was waiting for you to say. So when I first heard the track, obviously it was like when I first saw the track list. That's what everybody was talking about. Like, he has a song called "The Black Slim Shady." We already know how this goes. And honestly, you could tell that he was going to kind of go this way because he kind of hinted towards it in his Drink Champs interview and some of his other interviews that he's been on, where he doesn't even think he when anybody brings M as in their top 5, he kind of just refutes it. He doesn't, he thinks he can rap better than M. Yada yada yada. I thought the song was hella creative. At first, so off my first listen, I didn't take it as a diss. I took it more as a challenge. and I told Space this. I think I told Space this. I took it more as a challenge more than a diss, because at the end of the song he says, "Mr. Shady, don't be lazy, pick that pen up." Like it's almost like he's enticing them. Like after he said everything that he said on the track. He talked about Haley, he talked about how Eminem wants to be black, and the
And
line
that's
where he
another
said
thing that I wish people stop saying.
where he's been where the only thing that got me was like, why would you Eminem is far from a Karen. That was the only thing that got me, was like, Eminem's not a Karen. And talked about how Eminem you wear a wave cap and not have one wave. There's like a whole bunch of shit where it's just like, all right.
Game, you tattooed
that's why,
a
because
fucking star on your face.
And that's why I said it was funny to me, because
a butterfly
a lot of
at
the
one
stuff
point
that he said was not like diss stuff. Like, yeah, like the Karen stuff, it can be taken as a diss for sure. But a lot of the other stuff, like, is like jokey joke Eminem stuff that he would say, because he was like, again, chameleon rap. He was portraying doing the same stuff that that Eminem does in his cadence and shit. So to me, I took it as a challenge at first. But then after like my fifth listen to the album, I was like, I can see how people could take it as a diss. But like for me, like I thought, you know what I do, like I create my own thought, and then I see what everybody else thinking as far as the internet and stuff. So I was like, I thought it was a challenge, and then I started looking at comments, and immediately everybody, I don't want to say sheeple, but everybody was just like, oh, he dissed him. Oh, Eminem has to come back and say something now. Like Eminem's gonna be whoop whoop whoop. And I was just like, if you're an MC of Eminem's caliber, like, and you really break down lyrics, like, to me, and again, I don't know if some of the stuff that he talked about was touchy to him, and maybe it was, because I'm sure Eminem doesn't like being called a Karen, and I don't feel like culture appropriates. I don't think that's the case at all either. But like, he's right to say Eminem music doesn't get played anywhere outside. Like, it really doesn't like that. Like,
what the fuck does that even mean? But if you a rap head, it gets played in my AirPods when I want to listen to an Eminem album.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like game, I barely want to play your shit when I'm outside. Like I'm not cutting off. Like I see game when this album fades away, I'm not gonna play it again, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I may go back to one or two tracks, but but it's like I'm not gonna spin it like that. Like come on, bro. Like you act like you got the most generational shit ever. Like you got good albums, but don't take away from somebody else's work and act like Eminem don't have the same kind of generational work. I will go. I would say that I will go to Game's other shit. Not that this is. I would say, as far as me personally, I will go to Game's other shit before I go to this. LAX is one of my favorite albums.
Yeah, I feel you. And obviously, like I said, Documentary is my favorite album. So like, I feel the same way too. But there's like, I already added like, so there's 29 songs now, right?
Yeah,
I got a good 22 of them on my playlist. That's how good I think this album is good for me. And then there's even the ones I don't mind, even the ones I don't really like rock with, I can still play them. To me,
there's some
again,
tracks I don't. There's some tracks I don't need on here.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, to me, when I first listened off my,
I didn't need Burning Checks or 504.
That's true. I call me stupid. I asked this to somebody too, and they couldn't give me an answer. Why is this album called Drillmatic when he raps drill twice on the album? He raps drill style twice on the album.
On Drillmatic, first off, Drillmatic is just banging on your ops on wax. It's not even Drillmatic music. Like it's like
that's
I don't even know.
That was my only.
There's another thing. This is like game. First off, Drillmatic music is what they call it in New York. But New York stole it from Chicago. Chicago stole it from the West Coast. So it's like, it's like that's just how it goes. But it's like game. Why call it that when it started here? Like why call it that? Like banging on your ops music? Like nigga, that's nothing but gangster rap from the West Coast.
Who was outside about? Space asks who was outside about. I don't people like, people that stay in the house that the millennial people that what did he say? Oh man. Fuck. I'm not gonna remember. But basically he was saying that people that grew up in LA that just stayed inside, that he was outside. That's basically what the song Outside was. I don't know who it was about.
I like that line about He said we would have cats that he said we didn't cats that Franklin and what's the name tried to act out or some
I
shit
would have
like
to listen
that.
to it again, Space. I don't know if it sounded super
He
specific.
had a snowfall line in there about we
Oh
know
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I forgot what track that is. We the boys, Leon, and
Leon
was
and
talking. Franklin was
Leon
talking.
Franklin tried to act out.
Yeah. I think that
That
was outside.
snowfall. No, that wasn't outside. That was on that track with Ice T. That was on the first one.
That's on the first one. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like I said, and we can close this now. But I think this album has a lot of fucking replay value for me. I think Game did a phenomenal. I feel like the only quote unquote bad feature is the Cameron one, and that's just me. I know some, like I said, I spoke to some people that really love that track, Killers, I think is what it's called. But um, oh yeah, that's one to add too. I wanted to get this off too. It's not a lot of times where you get a Chris Brown track, and not only do you put it last on your album or second to last, I think where it's at placed on his album. It's not really. It's probably one of the weaker songs on the album. I thought that was interesting too. Is it got Chris Brown and Chloe Bailey, and you would think that would hit that out like with those
I
two
don't.
names. You would
That's
think
not
that
a.
would be hit it
But
out of the
Chris
park.
Brown, Chloe Bailey, and Game like that's not a really a like Game doesn't have a Ja Rule tone to go to that
I
kind of
thought the
level
same.
like a
I
Drake
thought the
does.
same thing. I thought the same thing on the Neo album when Neo had Trippie Redd on the track, and I was just like, "Oh, what the fuck does this sound like?" And it was probably one of my favorite tracks on the album. So like, I've kind of broken out of that until I hear the track, but like, it sounded like how it was supposed to sound. I just felt like I was supposed to love it more because it
Game
was Chris
always
Brown
tries to
and Chloe
make
Bailey.
those super thug and love kind of tracks. Still, he did it with Neo. You see the
I thought it
bitches
was it.
be want the
Oh, and the
man,
Big Sean
and the
track.
ladies be want the thug. Yeah,
I didn't really like that Big Sean track. Stupid either. I didn't like that one either. Yeah, I didn't like that one
yeah.
that much either. I didn't like that. Stupid. Yeah, I didn't like that one. But yeah, that was our thoughts on Drillmatic. I think Game did it. All right, so quick, what number out of 10?
7.
7. I got it probably like 8.5. It's not much I hate about that album, to be honest with you.
Did you like that Meg?
I did not listen to. I still haven't listened to Meg.
You
Surprisingly,
haven't listened to the Meg?
I haven't listened to Meg album yet.
And
I swear
you
to
like
God,
clap your ass music.
and I put that on everything. I put that on my daughter. I haven't listened to Meg all the way through. Every time like I listen to like the track one, something happens and I can't finish
Damn,
listening to it.
that's crazy.
I listened to the Janae Aiko on her one just because I wanted to hear that sound, and that was pretty much it. But I haven't listened to Meg. I haven't touched that one yet.
I was coming to you for the review.
I haven't listened to Meg yet. I'll get to it when I get to it. All right, so NBA. So Rell's wearing the Laker jersey. You see it, Mamba jersey. Big news happened. Obviously, it's a big surprising news because I didn't see this coming. Maybe
Surprising to you. Surprising to you.
Time no. Surprising as far as timing. I didn't think he was going anywhere, but the timing was surprising. So, literally yesterday, LeBron James has agreed to a 2-year, 197.1 million dollar maximum contract extension with the Los Angeles Lakers, taking his contract through 2024 to 2025. Now, he was eligible for this contract up in like 2 weeks ago. And for me, this is what I think. I thought for sure he was going to go into the season. And I told shout out to Matt. Matt and I was talking about this in DMs yesterday as well because I just wanted to somebody to bounce ideas about this with because I was just like I was puzzled by the timing. But I just thought that he would wait to see what the team would look like and see what Rob Pelinka was going to do with the end of this roster and see how this Russell situation was going to play out. But I do think that this is for sure 100% now lets the Lakers be comfortable trading both of their first round picks now. I think they're going to be comfortable moving their first round picks to get off Russ when the time comes, if the time comes sooner or later. I also think now that the Lakers have the commitment of LeBron James, they'll be more probably willing to go into deeper into the luxury tax, but we'll see how that goes. Um, Obviously, this kills the hope for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I know that in their minds they thought they had a chance of him coming back.
Who moves from LA to Cleveland? Who?
Look, bro. I'm just telling you.
Other than farmers and steel mill workers.
I'm just telling you what the people in Cleveland had high hopes at the end of the season of a third time LeBron coming home again. That was real. That was not fake. But
if
LeBron
I'm working,
all that.
if somebody offer me a job in Cleveland, but I can live in LA, I'm cool.
Of course, bro. All right, bro. So I've talked a lot, and I got some more stuff to get off. But like, explain because obviously you're thrilled. Obviously you're thrilled about this as a Laker fan, but like, what does this mean? If you can try to help me understand LeBron's timing of this, and what does this mean going forward?
Well, I mean, if I'm being take my Homer hat off, but then
please take the Homer hat off.
You know what the thing is about it, Kev, is that I take the Homer hat off, but if you test my blood, it's Homer blood. So I'm just a Homer person. So I think LeBron I think he wanted to make an emphasis of accomplishing the being. He's at the landmark stage of his career. I don't know if I have full trust in what the fuck this front office is gonna do. If I'm being 1,000% honest, I don't know if we're gonna trade for it. Like this whole wait for Kyrie, not trade the picks for Buddy Hield. Oh, we not playing for Buddy Hield, but we got Eric Gordon in the back pocket. Like, but we got Russ here, but he gonna be in the corner. And it's like I don't know. There's some player named Kendrick Nunn. Like, I think LeBron is in full landmark mode because even if he were to go to Cleveland, it'd just be a sidestep. Like, I don't think there's a player of Anthony Davis caliber in Cleveland. Like, Darius Garland's cool, but Sexland cool. I mean, you like more, but it's still a lot of upside.
Darius Garland cool.
He's cool, but he's not AD. He's not the banana AD is.
He's a second year player.
He's family, but he's not AD.
How many All Stars is Darius Garland? Not one. Darius Garland. I'm sorry. Okay.
I'm pretty just one, but I think I don't think, but I just ultimately think he realized Cleveland's not the place where and Anthony Davis is going to be here. I think something's going to happen because I don't believe he would have signed this extension without faith in this front office. So this lets me know something will happen, and this ultimately, what I think is going to happen is that him signing the extension now lets me know that something's going to happen either at the deadline. I don't know if it's going to be a free agent next year. I don't know. I think this is, like I said, him becoming the highest leading scorer of the game, and now he's the richest basketball player to ever have played the game. Like, I think he wants to just let this 20th season be his charade, and he's earned it at Lakerland. And in 2 years when he's done, we should have the fucking statue and the jersey unveiling at the end. I'm telling you, there should be no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He needs a statue and he needs a jersey retirement in Staples Center. He goes with the legends.
It's crazy to hear you talk like this. But what about Evan Mobley? How many All Stars do you think Evan Mobley's gonna have?
In the next 5 years, a lot. I'm high on Evan Mobley. I am high. Evan Mobley
and that's my point.
I think Evan Mobley can.
I think Evan Mobley
because I don't think because Evan Mobley's gonna be in year number 2 this year.
He looked like he was a fucking veteran last year.
He still doesn't have offensive game. He's still raw. Okay.
I'll take that rawness. I'll take if you play both ends of the court. I'll take.
Would you here? He's banking on AD's for sureness over Mobley's upside, which he should do.
Okay. So LeBron gets a statue?
Oh, he should. I want him to.
At the end of this, you said at the end of his career, like when he's done with the Lakers, he should like the
I
next season he gets a statue.
I want the six in front of Staples. Bubble six.
Okay,
Bubble
so
six.
my question is this: so
D Fish ain't getting no damn retirement. He's not getting no damn retirement.
By the way, did you watch my Millennial Thoughts the other day?
No, I didn't watch him. No, what was it?
Okay, never mind.
Hold, was it about D Fish? Hold on, yeah, it was the one about D Fish.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, guess what? He's not getting. Let me tell you why he's not getting a retirement. Because then you'd have to retire Robert Ory, you'd have to retire AC Green, and then John Sally's gonna have, and then John Sally's gonna have a gripe, and then Devin George is gonna have a gripe, and next thing you know,
why is Devin George? How does Devin George have a leg to stand on?
No, because once you let Fish
Fish actually has Laker records. So
if you never made an All-Star game, you can't. These are late. Everybody up there made it. Everybody. Next thing you know, Ron Harper wants a fucking jersey retired. You know what I'm saying? And Glenn Rice. But here's the thing. But if you are a Lakers great, you have to at least make an All-Star team and be a key cog in a championship. Fish was never a 2. He was never a 3. He was a dude that pissed you off 90% of the time. And if Tony Parker was out there, he looked like some of the worst fucking point guards in the league some nights. So let's just be fucking honest about it. Tony Parker would fry his ass 90% of the time. Prime TP, that was a prime Laker. I mean, TP was cold. Take it back. Damon Stoudemire used to burn your motherfuckers' eyebrows off. I mean, I'm talking about, D. Fish was looking like Charlie Villanueva some nights.
Lakers do the right thing. Retire D. Fish's jersey. I lost my train of thought. I don't know how we got on this random fucking you break it down why D. Fish shouldn't fucking get his jersey hung up.
Because Space so my question see D. Fish.
So my question is this, man. So obviously this pushes LeBron to be the highest grossing earner in NBA history as far as NBA earnings, which he's already a billionaire. Which we was talking about with Space before we hit record. Why, if winning's at the top of your priority, why wouldn't you do what Harden did? Hey Rob, like at the end of my contract, all right, I'm already a billionaire. Go out and sign the best players available, and I'll take the rest.
Here's the thing. The Lakers don't do that. You don't pay the Will Smith cheap to be. No, you pay Will Smith the top dollar to be in the movie. The Lakers paid Kobe $40-something million a year at one point. We didn't give a fuck because it was like he's gonna be here. Like the spectacle is the Lakers.
Yeah, y'all didn't give a fuck because the team was bad. But keep going.
No.
What y'all gonna do with y'all team anyway?
We make it worth your time. So now it's like, LeBron, here's the deal. Get all the money you want. We'll figure out another money. We have our own fucking network. Money's not a problem. Nobody should be taking nothing off the table.
That's not what everybody says. They say the Lakers run
like David Aldridge said. Like David Aldridge said. Let's stop pretending that the Lakers are a mom and pop staff.
I heard him say that. Yeah, I heard him say that on the Athletic show. Yeah, I heard him say that. But here you go. I know you're not gonna like when I bring up this name. What's the guy's name that's on the Hoop Collective with Brian all the time that you don't like? Not Bam McMahon, the other one.
Tim Bontemps is dumbass.
Tim Bontemps. Who's a habitual Laker. He doesn't like the Lakers that much. It doesn't seem that way anyway. The Lakers are kind of run as a mom and pop shop. For whatever reason, they don't want to go to the lengths of a luxury tax as the Warriors is, which nobody wants to go to.
Warriors is just spending money, bro. They just reckless up there, bro. That's just not gonna last, bro. Once the luxury tax hits in a couple years, the Warriors gonna be done, bro. They fraud. Nobody cares about. Nobody trying to replicate that. That shit's gonna crash. Just like Warriors is Bitcoin. Warriors is Bitcoin, and that shit's gonna crash,
hey man,
bro.
According to some people, Bitcoin gonna go back up.
Nah, Warriors is Bitcoin, bro.
I will say this. I mean, I don't think, and this is We got on the Warriors, but here we're here. They're not extending Draymond for the max. Draymond,
No, here we come. It's coming.
Hey, Dre. Hey, I got a secret, and I'm not a newsbreaker. Draymond's not getting the max at the end of this. He's not getting the max extension. That's not happening. I'm gonna tell you that right now. There's no way they can have Steph on a $50 million max, have Clay on a $30 million max, have fucking Wig on a $30 million max, have to pay Jordan Poole, and have Dre, and then max out Dre. I'm telling you right now, that's not happening. I'm sorry, it's just not happening. But whatever.
It's already happening. But just with that alone, that report alone lets me know it's gonna be hard. Money adds up in NBA.
Yeah, it does. It's, even though with the salary going up and the new TV deal they're going to negotiate at the end of this season. There's big fish. There's really good free agents, especially at the top of the cream of the crop next season. I just thought LeBron. There's some clutch guys. Want to talk about the Lakers in bad with clutch? Gary Trent Jr. Tell me he wouldn't be a good Laker.
He would be, but we're not in bad with clutch. We just work with them.
I'm sick of this shit. Gary Trent Jr. is available next year. Man. The clutch guy, he wouldn't come to the Lakers.
I'm looking for Michelle. I got Beyonce and Kelly. I'm looking for Michelle. Gary Trent Jr. not Michelle in this group. He's not. He can't get enough sing. And I'm cool. If it's gonna be 15 million plus, I'm not signing him. Fuck that.
No, he's definitely gonna. What?
Exactly.
He's gonna want more than that.
That's why I'm looking for my third star. I need a third star in this group.
I mean, obviously, I'm looking at the available free agents. Obviously, Kyrie. So, like, if you don't get Kyrie at the trade, like the Lakers have to get Kyrie in the trade now because they're not gonna have the caps. They're not gonna have the cap space to bring him in.
Ron Spring Hill about to do Uncle Drew too, bro, and it's about to be shot out here in LA.
So, I mean, the free agent pool from next year is now that I'm looking at it again, there's some pieces, but like Kyle Kuzma's going to be available again, unless he does an extension with the Washington Wizards, which I don't see because he can go on the market. Because there's going to be like 11 teams, if I remember Bobby Marks talking about this. There's going to be 11 teams that have cap space as of right now, because that can change. They can give out a whole bunch of extensions and shit and fuck that up. But as of right now, there's like 11 teams that have cap space. Kyle Kuzma will be available. Obviously, Taylor Horton-Tucker's money will come off the Lakers books. Gary Trent Jr., I said that already. Bogdan Bogdanovic will be available. Harrison Barnes, I don't think he's a Laker type. Kyrie, obviously. I don't know. Yeah, there's some fish. Unlike this year where like the pickings was slim. Like the best player that moved teams was who? Was it PJ Tucker or the guy on the Mavs? What's just the Jalen Brunson? Well, that was like the best player that switched teams. I think it's going to be a lot of bigger fish and better players that's going to switch teams.
I mean, this was technically his offseason. Basically. Him and DeAndre Ayton, but I mean, I don't like bigs who can't score. So,
all right. So we talked about the LeBron thing. Now we're going to talk about the NBA schedule. And then we're going to have some questions real quick, and then we're going to get Millennial Thoughts and get out of here.
Yeah, more of those fucking questions again.
All right, so Real, what do you think of Rivalry Week? It's only 4 questions. What do you think of the so the NBA is implementing Rivals Week for the next season, including 11 games from January 24th to January 28th. I'm going to read off the names and we'll talk about that. So, all right. So, Boston in the Heat. Clippers versus Lakers. Nets versus Sixers. Grizzlies versus Warriors. Bulls versus Hornets. Mavericks versus Suns. Grizzlies versus Wolves. Raptors versus Warriors. Nuggets versus Sixers. Knicks versus Nets, Lakers versus Celtics. Now, 2 of these to me aren't rivalries.
Nets is Nuggets and Sixers. What the fuck is that?
That's what I said. That's literally one of the ones I hit on. And I was Space was talking about this before you hopped on.
But the 2 bigs.
I was going to say, is it just because it's the best big men in
I
basketball
mean,
going against each other.
growing up, I would circle like the dates of when I could watch Shaq play Hakeem. Like I remember,
Shaq versus Patrick.
Shaq versus Patrick.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I get it rivalry week. So I like that they're actually emphasizing,
Yeah.
yeah, MVP. Embiid should have won the MVP last year.
He should have.
I'm sorry, Dustin.
Sorry,
MVP,
Dustin. No, I'm not
yeah.
sorry, Dustin.
No, yeah, Embiid definitely should have won the MVP last year. But I'm glad that they're
I like how
putting
Dustin
emphasis.
slams everybody on Twitter that suggests that Embiid had no chance of winning. But
No,
anyway, move on.
yeah,
I
but
think it's funny.
I think that
Dustin, we love you.
they should spread it out throughout the season. Though, are they?
No, the 24th through the 28th. I mean, obviously these teams are gonna play each other again, but
No, but I mean, I think they should have like a 1 week of it and then like have another week of it.
I don't think so. So riddle me this: when has the Raptors and the Warriors been a rivalry? Is it just because they win in the finals against each other? Is that the reason why they're a rivalry?
I assume so.
They're not a rival. That doesn't make any sense to me.
That's
At
not a
all.
rivalry.
That's not a rivalry.
I would say the Kings are more of a rivalry than the Sacramento than anything. Yeah. I mean, the Kings and Warriors.
And then like the Bulls versus the Hornets, like, so you're just doing the Brothers Bowl, like you're just doing the Ball Bowl, like what? Why is that? Are we sure Lonzo Ball?
I thought maybe they should do cities, like city, within like Heat, Magic, Brooklyn, Knicks, Warriors, Kings, Lakers, Clippers.
Some of these they hit on the head, like Boston and the Heat, or actually that's actually like Boston. I mean, obviously Boston is the better team now, but the Heat was kicking the Boston's ass for like the longest. They knocked them out of the playoffs in the bubble, right? Yeah, so they like obviously there's something there with the Stars. So like I understand that. Obviously Clippers, Lakers, goes without saying. Net Sixers, obviously there was some animosity, but I think it was competitive between KD and Joel Embiid. Like I didn't think that was really a thing like that, but I guess it is now. Well, I guess it's technically because of the Ben Simmons aspect. All right, never mind. I didn't even take that into account. I guess that's a rivalry now. Never mind. I forgot all about Ben Simmons being on the Nets because whatever. Grizzlies Warriors, is it just because of the Draymond Ja Morant thing? Is that why it's a rivalry? That's not a rivalry either, right?
I mean, well, yeah, because Ja Morant put them out in that playing game 2 years ago prior.
Okay.
In Golden State.
Grizzlies Wolves is like fun because they went against each other in the playoffs, so like I guess that's fun. Obviously Lakers Celtics and Knicks Nets. So like yeah, some of these I'm like, are they really rivalries? But I like the idea of the NBA trying to implement shit like this. So I think that's cool. So what do you think about the NBA only giving the Nets only 26, giving the Nets only 26 games of national televised games? What does that say to you?
I mean, I think they kind of want to stay away from what could be possibly a disaster. I mean, it's gonna be a disaster. Like I don't see like at the end of the day, KD's coming out refuting what he wants to refute, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be a shit show. Who's to say the team? If the team can barely put it together this year, do you think they're gonna be able to put it together with all these distractions off the court? The first 3 game losing streak, they're gonna be looking at Steve Nash. You know what I'm saying? Like who wants to work in this environment? Like I don't understand it.
I agree. I think the NBA was smart to do that. I still don't see how a player could come out and say, "Yo, like I'll come back, but him and him, I don't like this combination. Get rid of them. We got to figure it out." Like, but one of these dudes got to go, and then basically the owner tells you no by his actions, and then you just come back and just take the L. That's we're gonna see how that goes and how that implements. Shit. The spots like we're in the middle of August. Like we're almost at September. Like this fucking August had somewhere to fucking go because August is almost the fuck out of here. All right, Space, you ready for questions? We're ready. Let's get some questions popping. Yeah, but September is gonna be here in a blink of an eye. It's fucking crazy. And then right after September, we start getting ready for basketball. It's fucking crazy. How did y'all meet? All of us. So all of us worked at a. I think we talked about this on one episode. I think we talked about this on episode 100, but I'll talk about it again. Um, so Chris, Space, and I went to school together.
Who's Chris?
Yeah, I know. Space and I went to school together. Um, and Jarrell and Jesse and I all worked at the same rinky dink, love it but hate it, fucking amusement
Zombieland.
park. Was it Zombieland? Amusement park, known as Scandia. Um, Rail was a shift manager, so he was technically my superior at the time, and yeah, that's what happened. So we met there.
You were the last person standing there.
I know. I ended up being there the longest than anybody else, but that's how I am with jobs anyway. What's your favorite childhood meal? The one that brings back all kinds of good memories. Rel, you want to start this one off?
You go.
Okay. My favorite childhood meal. All right. So my mother makes fried cake, which is basically, I don't know how to explain fried jack. It's like fried bread, and you eat it with beans and sliced cheese and salmon, and she usually makes it with salmon croquette and porridge. Like, yeah, porridge, like the Three Little Bears, is basically like thin, no, it's like oatmeal but with like no grains in the shit. That's like one of my favorite. Yeah, Johnny cakes basically. Um, it's that's basically what it is. That's basically my favorite childhood meal, and she still makes it to this day. So yeah,
My grandma used to make a sweet potato pie that was good.
sweet potato pie for real.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite food now?
Anything Italian. I found some really good Italian restaurants out here. I like pasta.
I like fish, so anything salmon, lobster, shrimp department, you got me.
Games new album. Like I said, it's a 7 for me.
I think it's 8.5. I literally, anytime I don't have podcasts, I put on the games album. Not only because I was preparing for this pod to talk about it, because I had a lot of stuff to say about the pod, but I really do like the album. I think, in my opinion, I think it's probably second best album. I have to like go back and stuff, but I think it's the second best album, for at least for me. And there's a lot of replay value. Like, it's really hard to have do 30. You had 30 tracks and now end up being 29 tracks, and fucking 22, 23 of them are fucking good. So so the last question was, for being a Gemini, I love Jesse's energy. Y'all need more Jesse's on your team. Yeah, like I said, Jesse and his Gemini millennial thoughts had my DMs going up. Like, I was against Geminis for some reason when I'm literally in a relationship with a Gemini. So that doesn't make sense. I've dated, again, I'm currently with a Gemini and I've dated plenty of Geminis, so I have nothing against Geminis. Apparently I attract Geminis, but I have nothing against Geminis. They cool, I guess. Bro.
Hmm. I got nothing.
You have no Geminis in your life?
No. Kanye.
That's the only Gemini you need. All right, you want to start off your millennial thoughts?
Yeah.
All right. All right, let me cut my camera. Get your shit off.
So my millennial thought today is going to be based on a story that I came across recently that I did not know anything about. And I'm just kind of going to pass it forward to see if maybe if you don't know about it and just kind of see just about this crazy story about how Spencer Haywood, who was once was a top athlete, he was a top NBA player in the NBA. He had a contract with uh, a company called Blue Ribbon at the time. And for his contract, he had to pay his agent a certain percentage of the amount. But when Blue Ribbon gave like this shoe deal, this NBA, he was a legend. Go look it up. And but when they gave him this contract, they gave him a share of the company. But at the time, he couldn't afford to pay his agent. So what he did was he sold off that share of the company that they gave him called Blue Ribbon, a shoe company, and which later turned out to be Nike, and that was Phil Knight. And as I read this biography of him this week, it just amazes me all about how somebody lost that much money. And I mean, I never honestly, I didn't know I didn't know that it was that much. I didn't know that they actually offered him a share of Blue Ribbon at the time, which eventually turned into Nike. But he had to pay his fucking agent, and so he sold the share just to be able to pay his agent because back then shoe deals were just dog shit.
That's
So
crazy.
Nike give a piece now. I mean, just to but anyway, shout out to Spencer Haywood. Your book that I'm in the book I'm reading about you is incredible. And all right, that's
His
my
10
millennial thoughts.
Space just looked it up right now. He said his 10% of share would be 8.6 billion today.
Yep.
That's disgusting, and that makes me sad for him, I guess.
Did you know that?
Um, huh?
Did you know that about Spencer?
No, I didn't know that. Thank you. You put me on game. I didn't know that. All right. So for my millennial thoughts, it was announced this week that first, a couple weeks ago, news came down that the Sparks was letting go of Liz Cambage. And I read the article of some of the reasons why, and I thought it was really, really petty. Because it was just like small stuff, like small arguments with players, which is what happens all the time. Um, the placement of where her locker is, just like a whole bunch of just like real. Like I was reading it, and I was just like, well, this is the reason why like she's leaving the team. Um, so and then this week happened, and then it was announced that Liz Cambage is stepping away from the WNBA. Um, for the time being, so I'm just gonna read what she said from her IG post. Playing for the Sparks was a dream come true, and I'm honored to have shared the court with such amazing ladies for as long as I did. I'm sorry to have left abruptly. I wish it would have ended on a different note. I've decided to step away from the league for the time being, and I'm hopefully that the WNBA will be there, be a part. The WNBA will be their part in creating safer environments and a stronger support system for their players. While I miss rocking the purple and gold, I'll be taking this time to focus on healing and personal growth before providing clarification on past rumors. Thank you to all my supporters, friends, families, and loved ones. Love and light to continue to surround me with. Um, and I saw the comments, and a lot of people were trashing her and um her stepping away, and I because of everything that's happened to me personally this year, I've become such an advocate for people in mental health and stuff. She sounds like she has some shit going on, so I would just like, again, my millennial thoughts just basically is just saying, just like, you know some people go through shit behind closed doors. It sounds like her whatever she got going on has to do with a lot of the WNBA and some stuff that she doesn't want to necessarily come out yet. But yeah, I hope Liz is alright. Hope everything works out for her, and hopefully we'll get more clarification about this in a future somewhere down the line. And if we don't, it is what it is. We don't need to, but I just thought that was worth bringing up because it was kind of one of those stories that was kind of just like, oh, it happened and then just got swept on the rug, like because with the news cycle and everything that happens. But yeah, just shout out to Liz Cambage. She was, she played for the Aces, and then she, went to the Sparks this season. She only played, a handful of games. But yeah, man, that was my Millennial Thoughts. So thank you. I would just a quick thank you to everybody that's listening to the pod. Again, if you listen on audio on Spotify, Apple, Google, and then obviously shout out to everybody that rocks with us and watches us on YouTube. Like I said, the YouTube growth has been pretty awesome to see. Obviously, that everybody that interacts on social, we love you guys too. We're posting every day consistently. Um, uh, Rel and I and Dustin will have announcements soon. Uh, and we can't wait to share that with you guys. What else do I want to get off before I get out? Rel, you got anything else you want to say? Um. Oh, please subscribe while you're here. We know we love everybody that watches, but it literally costs you nothing to subscribe. And it helps our pod go a long way. Please, I hate when people do this, but please click the notification button too when you subscribe. Please, like, you know, uh, currently we're only posting once a week, so we're not going to be one of those annoying subscriptions that pop up in your feed constantly. I don't even call it annoying, but like, we're the consistent ones that's gonna pop in your feed on Fridays. So just click that notification thing. It costs you nothing. It just helps us and it helps the pod go a long way. And we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. And for Rel, Jesse, who's not here, Space, I'm Kay, and we're Those Millennials, and we're out.